up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday. Well, not so happy for Jonathan Majors. Well, unfortunately, the verdict has come to the jury has come to their verdict, and they decided that he is guilty, but not guilty of all charges. So I'm going to leave the link to the article that I am reading from in the description box down below. But this news is all over the place, so I'm pretty sure that you're going to come across it. But anyway, it says here, Jonathan Majors of Marvel fame is found guilty of assault and harassment at domestic abuse trial. So a few bullet points here. Now, just a recap, if you guys don't know or haven't been following, he was accused of abusing his ex while having a night out. There's videos, there's surveillance out there that he broke her finger. She had a laceration in the back of her ear. She was drunk. So much has been going on with this. It's been a couple of weeks that they've been in court. And you know, a lot of people were kind of up in arms about this because, you know, as fans with him being, you know, a Marvel character and things like that, nobody knows, you know, what was going to happen. You know, when it came to Loki, we didn't know if he was going to be in season 2. Now King the Conqueror, we don't know. He's been fired from a lot of work that he was lined up to do, a lot of ads and things like that. And I guess in this case, now that he's been found guilty, I guess all these companies are going to have to proceed with a plan B, because I think this means that he's going to go to jail for at least a year. So a few bullet points here. It says a jury found Jonathan Majors guilty of some of the domestic abuse charges. Majors was accused of breaking his ex-girlfriend's finger in March, and at trial, his lawyer called the woman Grace Jabbari a liar. Grace Jabbari is his ex. Says a Manhattan jury has found Marvel actor Jonathan Majors guilty of some domestic abuse charges and acquitted him of others on Monday. The jury acquitted Majors of assault with intent to cause injury, but found that he was guilty of recklessly assaulting and injuring his ex-girlfriend. They also found that he harassed her. Neither Majors or his current girlfriend, Megan Good, reacted in the courtroom when the verdict was read at nearly 3 p.m. Prosecutors said the King the Conqueror actor broke his then-girlfriend's finger during a dispute in the back of a hired car on March 24th after she found a text from another woman on his phone. So what is said to have happened is that she saw somebody sent him a message, an inappropriate message. She grabbed the phone. He was trying to grab it back, and in the midst of all of that, the finger got broken, the laceration in the back. He's getting out the car. She pulled him back in. And then he left out, and now she's chasing him down the street. Apparently then she ended up at his place. Not sure how. He called the police. The police basically, it was said that they tried to get her to say that he did it, but then there were text messages sent to him by her telling her that she told the cops that, you know, that wasn't the case. She didn't even remember what happened. So all this stuff was going on, right? So anyway, moving right along, an attorney for Majors, though, tried to prove to the jurors that the woman, Grace Jabbari, injured herself hours later after a night of partying with friends when she went to Majors' Chelsea penthouse apartment alone. The star was arrested by the NYPD in the late morning of March 25th when, fearing from her overnight text that she tried to self-delete herself, he rushed back from his hotel to his triplex, according to evidence from both sides. Majors then found Jabbari unconscious and called 911, summoning New York Police Department officers to his home. The prosecution's two best eyewitnesses were a chauffeur and someone who went out with Jabbari later that night, but they both testified at trial, and they were drunk or hardly saw anything on the night in question. Majors faced a maximum 1-year jail sentence on the misdemeanor assault and harassment charges. His girlfriend, Megan Good, sat directly behind him in the front row of the audience throughout most of his trial. And it says that this story is still developing. So, if this happened around 3 o'clock, we're Where did it say that? I'm trying to see if 3 p.m. I can only assume that that is Eastern time, because right now it's 3:27. So this broke out almost half hour ago. So I guess it is still developing. This is what they know so far. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot more later. Maybe more is going to be revealed. I don't know. The whole entire time with this, in my opinion, I didn't take any sides, but things didn't really look good for her, because her stories and stuff were up and down, like her not knowing how she got injured, then her text messages telling him that she told the cops that, to leave him alone, that it didn't happen, that he had nothing to do with it. But then she's also taking him to court, and she didn't want anything to happen. It's all these weird things. And then I'm curious to know how they, what else was provided that we don't know about that got the jury to this verdict. Like, what other, evidence did they have? Because we heard a lot of the evidence that came from Jonathan Major's team, but we rarely heard, we didn't hear much that came from his ex's side. So I'm really interested to see, but I always said, either way this plays out, justice needs to be served, right? If he is guilty, then he needs to pay for what he's done and deal with the consequences. If he is found innocent, then he can go on with his life, and hopefully, make good with the businesses that let him go, or continue on with, the stuff that he's been working on, Kang the Conqueror, Loki, and whatever else he had, lined up. But now there's going to be major changes with these things, and I can only assume that a lot of the fans who didn't want to see this happen, who really truly believe that he was innocent, what's going to happen to, these Marvel projects that he was tied to, that now they're going to have to redo, reshoot, recast. Yeah, it's going to be different, because I, for one, can't see anybody else playing Kang the Conqueror. I don't know who else is going to be in his place with that, So, and listen, one thing you can't take away from him, he's a great actor. He's a great actor, and it's unfortunate that right when he was about to just take off, this happens. And whether he was right or wrong, I mean, it is what it is. Like, life happens, I mean, I can't say I feel bad. I can't say I feel good either. It's just unfortunate, because he's such a great actor. So now, he's got to suffer the consequences. He's got to do what he has to do. But it is important to note that they said here he was guilty of some and not all charges. So I wonder if we're going to get an entire list of what the charges were. I don't know if there was a legit list of it, but I don't know. Because I still feel like there's missing pieces, in a sense. Like, I don't know, at one point, like, it just didn't look good for her. It just didn't look good for her. It just looked really sketchy on her behalf. And he didn't testify either. Everybody else did, but he didn't testify at all. And from what I've been reading and seeing, like, he's just been straight faced. He hasn't been, no outbursts, no talking to the media about anything. He's just been doing what he has to do. He's been cooperative. There's nothing that he's been holding back, from what I've seen or from what I've read. So it's a little interesting. I'm not saying that he didn't do it, because, I mean, I can see how something like that can happen where, in the heat of a moment, somebody is grabbing your property and you want to take it back, and there's tussling back and forth, and maybe her trying to grab it, her finger got injured. I mean, in a situation like that, I'm not saying that it's right, but I can see how something like that can happen. You're trying to grab his phone. He's trying to grab his property back, going back and forth. Now, as far as the laceration in the back of her ear, I don't know how that could have happened. But you can see that there was clearly a mutual beef, because then she was pulling him. He was trying to get away from her. He was trying to put her back in the car. Then he ran away and she was running after him. You know, so I feel like sh- there's some responsibility to be had on her end too. I feel like that's just my opinion, but we're gonna keep our eyes open and see what else develops with the story. This is very, very fresh. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get some more information, but leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Again, the link to this article is gonna be in my description box in case you guys want to read it over again. But this news is clearly spreading like wildfire now, so you're gonna find it somewhere. But leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!